Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Crud, I can't hear 1 minute. Well, I hope your hearing comes back, Pippadot. Can't hear it. Here it is me. Okay. Well, I hope everyone had a great weekend. Hope the weather's been treating you well. I'm personally sick of the triple digits, but that's just where I live, so. No sound? Can anybody else hear me? Okay. Hello, Ivory Lady. Rackard. Good evening and welcome to tonight's trivia. Hope you both had a great weekend. Lita. Good evening, Lita. And welcome to tonight's trivia. Kitty Q. I can't stay. I'm gambling with my aunt. LOL. I'll rewatch. Sorry, Will. And hello, everyone. I can hear you. Sound is good. Good. Well, enjoy your gambling with your auntie, Kitty Q. And I hope you have a pleasant week ahead. All the questions tonight are on Todd Kohlhepp. Kohlhepp. I don't know why it's not showing the banner at the bottom there. Fix that problem. Todd Kohlhepp is what all of the trivia questions are on tonight. And yes, thank you, Kitty Q, on your way out. Remember to be on all messages or live messages, not top chat. Todd Kohlhepp. Not exactly a household name, but he is someone of importance in the true crime community. He is someone that a lot of people have paid attention to that never should have ever been able to commit half of the crimes that he committed. A lot of different things had to fail in order to make Todd Kohlhepp a serial killer. He is nutty and very evil, yes. You know pro about Todd? Yeah. I mean, he may not be a Ted Bundy or a John Wayne Gacy of the world, but as we get into the trivia tonight, you'll learn a lot more about him if you don't know anything about him right now. He's an evil one. He's an evil one, for sure. A nasty evil one. Shmita. I just noticed the other day, maybe it's been there before, but this morning Scott was making biscuits and gravy, and he actually on the screen it said the Scott Sharp Show. Maybe that's new. Today. It's the first time I've noticed it. All right, let's get tonight's trivia going. Death becomes a game. The Todd Kohlhepp murders is what tonight's trivia is on. This is episode number 374. This trivia strictly adheres to factual evidence and verified data from the FBI Department of Justice and Scotland Yard whenever needed, along with court records and transcripts from trials. It does not include conspiracy theories, speculation, or unverified claims about what may have happened. If you're seeking sensationalism or content related to similar theories or lies spread by those who can't be bothered to do the research on the topic, this event and topic may not be the right fit for you. This program documents actual crimes and offenses by criminals. Some of the content covered here may not be suitable for all audiences. Tonight's video and research comes to us from the Internet Archives, the Library of Congress, the DOJ, Department of Justice, ABC, Fox, and BPL Unlimited, Bentley Publishing Company. If you are not a subscriber, please consider subscribing before the night's over with. If you scroll down past the screen to where the comment section is, if you see it say in white and it is, subscribe with all white, that means you are currently not a subscriber. Please subscribe. Todd Christian Kohlhepp, born March 7th, 1971, is an American serial killer, mass shooter, serial rapist, animal abuser, and kidnapper who was convicted of murdering 7 people in Spartanburg County, South Carolina, between 2003 and 2016. In addition, Kohlhepp kidnapped and raped at least 2 women and claims to have killed many more. The FBI has linked him to more murders forensically than he will ever be charged with. In case you're wondering, the FBI has forensically linked him to 10 additional murders. They can't prove that he actually killed the individual. It's that his DNA was found on evidence at those scenes. Good evening, Joe Tallchief and Dirk McGiggity. Good evening. So without further delay, let's get ready to rumble on some trivia. Question number 1 is now on your screen. Where was Todd Kohlhepp born? Was it A, South Carolina, B, Florida, C, Georgia, or D, North Carolina? Where was Todd Kohlhepp born? One now is more dangerous than cell phones. Good evening, Sal. Welcome to tonight's trivia, Sal. I will get myself my little window here in a second. Ah, there I am. Where was Todd Kohlhepp born? And you are right, Reichart. Scott Sharp is definitely underappreciated and undervalued. Reichart says he was born in hell. Joe Tallchief, I read up on Todd and still can't remember. Where was he born? Question number 1. The correct answer is B, as in boy. He was born in the state of Florida. Question number 2. What was Todd Kohlhepp's middle name given to him at birth? Not the nickname he gave himself in his 20s. Was it A, Michael, B, James, C, Christopher, or D, Matthew? What was question number 2 of 20? What was his given birth middle name? Not the one he gave himself in his 20s. Question number 2. He's from hell, so that's faux show. Faux show. Purple's going with C. Lita's going with C as well. Joe Tall Chief A. What was Todd Kohlhepp's middle name given to him at birth? A for Joe Tall Chief. Sal, Gianna Maria going with C. Ivory Lady and Pippadot are going with A as well. Question number 2. The correct answer is C as in cat. Christopher is his middle name that was given to him at birth. For all you who answered A, that is the nickname, middle name he said he had in his 20s. So he was convicted of a heinous crime in his late teenage years. And after he got out of jail and moved, he started going by the name of Michael. When people asked him, or he needed to, he said, "Oh, Michael is my middle name." It wasn't his middle name. His middle name is Christopher. But we'll get into why he would go by Michael instead of his first name, Todd, or Christopher, in a little bit here. Question number 3. What age did Todd commit his first of many murders? Was it A, 12, B, 15, C, 18, or D, 11? Question number 3 of 20. What age did Todd commit his first murder? Michael Myers. Yeah, good one, right, Cart? Michael Myers. He is the man from the lake, Michael Myers. Jana Marie and Ivory Lady are going with B. Lita, Joe Tall Chief, and Pepper are going with C. What age? Doesn't matter which one it is. It's way too young to be committing murder. Rock on 18, hopefully? All too young. I mean, there's no appropriate age for committing murder, but for Todd Kohlhepp, the correct answer is B as in boy. He was 15 years old when he committed his first murder. And that is the crime that he was sentenced for and sent away. And then later on, he would change his name and go by the name of Michael, even though it was not his legal name. B as in boy. What was the first major crime Todd Kohlhepp committed before the age of 18? Was it A, arson, B, armed robbery, C, kidnapping and rape of a 14-year-old, or D, drug sales and murder of a dealer? Question number 4 of 20. What was the first major crime Todd Kohlhepp committed before the age of 18? Gianna Marie, Joe Talchiff, Pippadot, and Purple are all going with C. And Lita, right card, are going with C as well. Da, 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 da. C. RN. Good evening, left-handed RN. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Left-handed RN is going with C as well. Question number 4. The correct answer to question 4 is, in fact, C as in cat. He kidnapped, raped, and murdered the 14-year-old girl that was his neighbor. C. Kidnapping and rape of a 14-year-old when he was 15. Question number 5. What unusual crime did Todd Kohlhepp commit as a child? Was it A, set school on fire intentionally, B, poisoned and killed the goldfish with bleach, C, stole his neighbor's car, or D, stole neighbor's dog and shot it? His brain should be studied while he's still alive, Joe Tall Chief. Pluck that sucker out. Let's see what's going on in there, if anything at all. What unusual crime did Todd Kohlhepp commit as a child? Gianna Marie and Joe Tallchief and Ivory Lady are going with B along with Pippadot. Going with B. Ooh, and Sal, left-handed orange, and purple are all going with B as well. What unusual crime did Todd Kohlhepp commit as a child? E, all the above. Well, Lita is going with A, but the correct answer is B, as in boy. He went into his neighbor's house where his neighbor had tropical goldfish. These were not like the little goldfish that you buy at the pet store or feeder fish or anything else. These were tropical, specialty goldfish that his neighbor had spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars on setting up this aquarium and making it so right. But the neighbor told him to stay away from the aquarium. So he stole his mother's bottle of bleach and dumped it into the aquarium and killed all of the fish because his neighbor wouldn't allow him to play with the fish. And he was mad. So as a child, he killed all of his neighbor's goldfish with bleach. Question number 6. Besides being a professional dumbass, what was the only real job Todd Kohlhepp had as an adult? Was it A, race car driver, B, a real estate agent, C, a security guard, or D, a police officer? Question number 6 of 20. Besides being a professional dumbass, what was the only real job Todd Kohlhepp had as an adult? Pippadot and Joe Tallchief are going with B. What say you? What was it? Race car driver, real estate agent, security guard, or police officer? Joe Tallchief says he was also hugely successful. That he was. He was very successful at what he did, but which one was it? Ivory Lady's going with C, and Sal's going with B, along with purple. Question number 6. The correct answer is B as in boy. He was a real estate agent. He specialized in one type of real estate more than anything else. And we will get into that as we go along. But yes, Joe Tall Chief is correct. He was widely successful, hugely successful. Question number 7. As a real estate agent, how many times was Todd Kohlhepp honored as Agent of the Year? Was it A, 2 times Agent of the Year in Florida? B, 4 times Agent of the Year in Georgia? C, 2 times Agent of the Year in South Carolina? Or D, 1 time Agent of the Year, Alabama? Question number 7 of 20. As a real estate agent, how many times was Todd Kohlhepp honored as Agent of the Year? No one said he was a member of Jersey Shore. Although he, in his young teenage years, he was a lot thinner and a lot more muscular. He looked like he could have played somewhat on the Jersey Shore. And he was obviously a complete dumbass. We got Pipitot's going with B. Joe Taltube, Gianna Marie, Lita, Sal, and Reichardt are all going with C 2 times. Agent of the Year in South Carolina. Question number 7. How many times was he honored? The correct answer to question number 7 is C as in cat. He was honored as Agent of the Year twice in the state of South Carolina. Agent of the Year. He sold more property in those 2 years than anyone else of this one particular type. And Gemma is back. Sorry, computer was driving me nuts. Oh, that's all right. I'm glad you're back, Gemma. Question number 8. How exactly did Todd Kohlhepp pass his background check as a convicted felon to get his real estate license? Was it A, a fake ID, B, lied on all paperwork, C, paid a bribe to state officials, or D, claimed he was pardoned? Question number 8 of 20. How exactly did Todd Kohlhepp pass his background check as a convicted felon to get his real estate license? This guy is one that had a lady inside a trailer storage as his hostage. You are correct, Reichardt. You are correct. That is one of the many dumb things that he did. Lemon Pie, good evening. And Lemon Pie says he pretended to be a Pauly Shore. The Weasel. Yeah, buddy. The Weasel. I know you are, but what am I? We got Joe Talcher, Felita, Sal, Gianna Marie, and Gemma are all going with a B. Question number 8. How did he pass his background check to get his license to even sell real estate in the first place? Let's go with B. How did he do it? Buy this house, buddy. The correct answer to question number 8 is B as in boy. He lied on all of the paperwork. The state officer who was in charge of checking the paperwork was so overworked that he just rubber stamped the application and never even vetted half of the people who applied for real estate licenses in the state at that time. He was just like, that. Who's going to, be a convicted felon and murderer that's going to want to apply to be a real estate, agent in the state? So he got the application, stamped it approved, and sent it on. He did that. They figured afterwards to at least 11,000 applications. 11,000 people, just their applications came in, and he just like, yeah, whatever. Didn't care. Question number 9. What odd niche type of real estate did Todd Kohlhepp sell that he was oddly good at selling? Was it A, commercial property, B, rural farmland, C, single family homes, or D, motel hotel property? What niche type of real estate did Todd Kohlhepp sell? This guy kind of reminds me of the TV show of that UPS driver in that TV show, The King of Queens. Yeah, he was later the in Mall Cops. I can't remember his name though. I'm sure somebody remembers King of Queens. The husband on King of Queens that was married to Lita Rhymes or whatever her name is. She's a former Scientologist. Homes that have been used in the Jersey Shore is the type of real estate Lemon Pie thinks he sold. It looks like A is a popular answer. Question number 9. 9. Kevin James, thank you. Gianna Marie. Kevin James was in King of Queens and also in Mall Cop. I'm sure he's done more than that, but I just remember him from King of Queens and Mall Cop. Anyways, question number 9. The correct answer is B, rural farmland. He was very, very successful at selling farmland. More than anyone else in his state for 2 straight years in a row. He sold more farmland than anyone else anywhere. Rural farmland. Question number 10. What did all his neighbors report hearing coming from his property that really never alarmed them? Was it A, loud music at late hours, B, gunfire, C, screams from women, or D, construction noise? Question number 10 of 20. What did all his neighbors report hearing coming from his property that really never alarmed them? Doug TV named. Yeah, it went by. I didn't get a chance to read that. Named Leah Remy. I saw her on the Joe Rogan podcast where she was talking about how her life inside of Scientology and how hard it was to break free and get away from them. I just remember seeing her on that. Besides, obviously King of Queens. Left Town RN is the only one that got it correct. The previous question. Question number 10 of 20. Joe Tallchief and Pippin going with B, Ricard D, Lita A, Lemon Pie D. The correct answer to question number 10 is B as in boy, gunfire. At all hours of the day and night, he had a practice range there on his property that was approximately 75 yards away from the home that he would practice, shooting. Mainly his long guns, sometimes pistol, practice as well. But he just about, once or twice a week, every neighbor heard this continuous, like all hours of the day and night, practicing of shooting over and over again. That is our first 10 questions. Now I'm moving on to put a spotlight to cases of missing and endangered individuals. I am working alongside the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, the Charlie Project, the FBI, NAMUS, along with state and local law enforcement to help put a spotlight to cases of people who are missing and endangered from across the United States. Some of them are cold, very cold cases, and others are newer, but all of them still, need, help with getting these cases closed. Approximately 600,000 Americans each year are reported missing. A vast majority of them are found within 90 days. But just because a case is cold doesn't mean that there is no hope at all. Do not forget that J.C. Dugard was missing for 18 years before she was eventually found alive and well. So don't give up hope. All they need is that one tiny piece of information to help. 29%. That is 174,000 to 176,000 people that are in the database for missing and endangered, the cases that I focus on. If you had a missing loved one, wouldn't you want someone to help, you and your family? If you know anything, even if it's tiny, you could reach out and help and help maybe, solve a case today. The missing poster you see there is of April Dawn Andrews. Again, she voluntarily left her home because she believed that she was a burden to her family. There have been many, 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 many tips over the years that led to, she is very much alive and well and living, in and around the Arkansas, Oklahoma area of the U.S. Not all the tips have come from one direct location where they can pinpoint and go, we're just going to go here and check every business. But a lot of people have seen, her over the years. So we know she's out there and alive, and her family just wants closure to know that she is alive and well. If you know anything about where April Dawn Andrews is, you can call 479-451-8220. Again, this is an age-enhanced photo of what she may look like today. She could have darker hair, longer hair, shorter hair. Heck, it could be pink hair for all we know. But that's approximately what her face would look like today, based off of age-progressed photo of what she looked like when she left. With that in mind, you can now take a 7-minute break. 7 minutes starts the moment I start reading the next one up here. But then we'll come back and we'll do, another 10 trivia questions. Again, our first case tonight is Helen Irene Allison. She would be 69 years of age today. She vanished when she was 16 years old. She is a Caucasian female. She was last seen officially on 5/11/1972 in Fairfax, Virginia. She is 5'3", 115 pounds when she disappeared. Obviously, the height's not going to change, but the weight may have changed over the years. She has blue eyes and brown hair. No known scars or tattoos at the time that she vanished, and no known medical conditions that would make her disappear. Helen Irene disappeared in Fairfax, Virginia again on May 11th, 1972. She has never been heard from again. It is possible that she traveled to the Washington, D.C. area or the upper part of New York State after her disappearance. She often went by the nickname of Allie or Allison. Her last name is Allison. If you know anything about her, you can call 703-691-2131, and you can remain anonymous at that tip line, or you can leave a tip at Missing Kids, which is the Center for Missing and Exploited Children. The photo you see on the screen here is what she may look like today as an age progressed, at the age of 69. Obviously, if she's 69 years old, she could also have gray hair. Our next case is Jordi Rodriguez. He was 6 years old when he disappeared in 2008. So you can do the simple math. He disappeared. He is a Hispanic male, and he disappeared on 7/25 of 2008. He disappeared from Santa Ana, California. He was 6'3" when abducted and 45 pounds when he was abducted. He has brown eyes and brown hair. No known scars or tattoos at the time that he disappeared, and no known medical condition. Jordi and his brother, Henry Rodriguez, and Jonathan Rodriguez Marina disappeared from Santa Ana, California on July 25th, 2008. They were abducted by their non-custodial parents, Alberto Rodriguez and Sabrina Lopez. Felony warrants were issued for both abductors on August 4th of 2008. Photos of Lopez are unavailable. She is described as 5'4", 150 pounds, Hispanic female with brown hair and brown eyes. Her date of birth of August 29th, 1971, making her 36 years old when she abducted her children. She may be using the last name of Marina. A photo of Alberto is posted in the case summary, which is not here, obviously. His date of birth is April 7th, 1972. He's on the next page, so just hold on for that. Making him 36 at the time of the children abductions as well. He is described as a Hispanic male at 5'5", 180 pounds with black hair and black eyes. He may wear his hair in a ponytail. Alberto Lopez and the children also may be in the country of Mexico. Also, be on the lookout again when I show you the age progressed photo of little Jordi. They also very well may be in and around the Santa Fe, New Mexico area. And when it comes to the abductor, the father, the non-custodial parent, the father who abducted the children, he has worked in auto mechanics and heavy machinery his entire life. Again, he is not going to move too far from that field. The little top left-hand corner is of Jordi when he was 6 years old and what he looked like when he was abducted. The bottom one on the left is what he may look like today, as in 2024, 2025, as an age progressed photo of what he may look like today. Over on the right side is a photo of the abductor. But again, keep on, and if you were out there in the Santa Fe, New Mexico area, or across the border in Mexico, they could be anywhere in Mexico, but they have an extensive family in and around the Santa Fe, New Mexico area and in California. But they do not believe that they would go back to California where they abducted the children from. Why were they, they did not have the rights to have their children. Both the father and the mother were extremely physically abusive to the point where they broke bones in both of the children, even little Jordi at the age of 6. He received a fractured arm from the father, and then the mother hid the actual fracture from other people when he was no older than 4.5. So fast forward to the age of 6, the father, again, who is on the right there with long hair, He and his wife abducted the children and took off with them. If you know anything about them or where they may be today, you can call 714-647-7000. You cannot remain anonymous at that tip line number. That is for the police, and they will track you down. If you call them up, leave a tip, and hang up, they will track you. They don't need that 60 seconds for you on the line. They only need 2 seconds. Again, you can also leave a tip at the Missing Kids, which is the Center for Missing and Exploited Children. And there, again, there is no photo known of the mother herself. Break time is not over with yet. You still have time left before we go on. You have 1 minute and 10 seconds left. So shotgun that beer quickly, or do whatever you're doing. Smoke a bowl. Snort a line of hashish. I don't care. You do what you're doing. I wonder all the time how many people do see or are around that serial killer, rapists, and so on. It's scary. Yep. Definitely is. Full minute. Wow. I know. I'm sorry, Red Cart. It's been too long going over the second case. And we got 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And without further delay, let's get back to our normal programming. Question number 11. Todd Kohlhepp confessed to murdering 7 people in total. Forensically, how many murders were he connected to? Was it A, 5, B, 9, C, 7, or D, 12? Todd Kohlhepp confessed to murdering 7 people in total. Forensically, how many murders were connected to him? I remember when my hometown had a Suffolk strangler case that shut my hometown down for months. Wow. I've heard of the Suffolk strangler. Lita and Gianna are going with D. Question number 11. Sal's going with A. Joe Touchy, B. Record. I don't know. I don't know. Tampa Dodd's going with A. Question number 11. I have to actually change the page. I just looked up at my answer key and I forgot to change the page. The correct answer is C as in cat. He was connected to all 7 murders that he confessed to. After being sentenced for the 7 murders, the FBI connected him to 10 additional ones after he was convicted and sentenced. And as Todd actually told them in a part of his confession to the law enforcement after being arrested, I'm connected to more bodies than you know of. I'm connected to more bodies than you know of. Really, though, whatever happened to Pauly Shore? He's still out there doing his Pauly Shore thing up, I guess. I don't know for sure. I don't even know if he's alive. Probably is. Probably going to be on the next roasting, you know. I don't know. Question number 12. How many people were found buried on Todd Kohlhepp's property next to the Connex box? A Connex box is a shipping container. Was it A, 5, B, 2, C, 4, or D, 1? How many bodies were found on Todd Kohlhepp's property? How many bodies were found next to the Connex box? Never ceases to amaze me that killers will do everything to avoid the death penalty, right? Dirk McGiggity says, didn't he also leave wacky reviews on Amazon for knives and shovels? Yes. Yes, Dirk McGiggity, Mr. Frosty. He was known in some circles as the Amazon review killer or some variation of that. Yeah, it was awful in my hometown, especially women are nervous about going out. And even though it happened in 2006, maybe you could do trivia on him. I will write it down, Gemma. As soon as I, well, there's my pen. Thank you for the suggestion. Trivia on Slasher. Got it. I wrote it down. Thank you for the suggestion again. Yes, police found her. Thank God. Question number 12. The correct answer is B. There were two bodies were found buried next to the Connex box on the property of Todd Kohlhepp. 2. Question number 13. How many people were killed by Todd Kohlhepp in his mass shooting at the motorcycle shop? Was it A, 2, B, 3, C, 4, or D, 5? Question number 13 of 20. How many people were killed by Todd Kohlhepp in his mass shooting at the motorcycle shop? I don't know how she lived through that riot car. Didn't someone hear her screaming? Yes, Joe Tall Chief. Yes, law enforcement did. When they came to, they were tracking the GPS data from her last known ping, the area, it gave them a 250-yard area, like the circle that I'm in here. And but they started searching at 250 yards. And in there was the last ping from her cell phone. And that's what they were searching. And as they got closer and closer to the house, they could hear her screaming. And that's what led them to the Connex box. She was chained up inside of a Connex box. Question number 13. The correct answer is C, as in cat. He gunned down 4 people at the motorcycle shop. Wait till you find out why he did it. Question number 14. What was the reason Todd Kohlhepp, a respected real estate agent, gunned down everyone in the shop that day? Was it A, a drug deal gone bad? B, road rage? C, revenge of disrespect? Or D, robbery? Question number 14 of 20. Oh, I gotta move. Back is tightening up on me. What was the reason Todd Kohlhepp, a respected real estate agent, gunned down everyone in a motorcycle shop that day? Why did he do it? Look at those reasons, those possible reasons why he did it. And not a good one there. Didn't he kill one whole family? Not that I'm aware of, Joe Tall Chief. Ooh, lemon pie might be onto something there, ladies and gentlemen. Pineapple on pizza dispute. Question number 14. We're already on question 14. Dirk McGiggity says, no paper towels in the bathroom. Right? I mean, that might be a good reason right there. But no, the correct answer to question number 14 is C, as in cat. Revenge of disrespect. He believed that the members of and the owners of this motorcycle shop had disrespected him. So he went home, got his rifle, and went back and gunned them all down. Killed everyone in the shop that day, all 4 people, over a perceived disrespect. Got away with it too for an awfully long time. Question number 15. The lone survivor of the madman's rage. How long had the woman been chained in the Connex box, been held there when found? Was she A, a few days, B, about a month, C, 61 days, or D, nearly 12 months? Question number 15 of 20. The lone survivor of the madman's rage. How long had the woman chained in the Connex box been held there when found? Joe Tall Chief, there was. It was a husband and a wife that were gunned down, a friend of theirs, and a mechanic. So that's, I guess you could be right in the family. A family was gunned down. Question number 15. The lone survivor of a madman's rage. And I don't know, to tell you the truth, Joe Tall Chief, I don't know if the mechanic and the friend were related to the family or not, or if they were just connected in that regard. They could have all been related, that's my brother-in-law, that's my nephew. They all could have been related in some way. I mean, that could be possible. I'm just saying that I know that he gunned down the owners and then the other 2 people. How long had she been held captive when she was found? It could have been related, Joe Tall Chief. You might be correct. I didn't look into it, that part of it, though. Question number 15. The correct answer is C, as in cat. She was held captive in that Connex box for 61 days. 61 days. Question number 16. What chilling statement did Todd make to Kala Brown, the surviving victim, before his arrest? Was it A, I killed a couple last weekend? B, I've killed for less? C, I love you, that's why you're alive? Or was it D, you're going to have my babies? Kala Brown, the surviving victim, what did he say to her? Question number 16. of 20. I have a cord on my floor. It's not plugged into something. What the hell does it go to? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Well, I'll just leave it on the table. Don't know where that cord came from. But it's not plugged into something. Whatever it's supposed to be plugged into. What chilling statement did Todd make to Carla Brown, the surviving victim, before his arrest? Question number 16. The correct answer is A, as in apple. A. We finally have an A on the list as a possible answer, and it is the correct answer. He told her that he killed a couple the weekend before, kidnapping her and killing her boyfriend. A as in apple. Question number 17. What chilling statement did Todd make to law enforcement during his interrogation after waiving his rights to an attorney? Was it A, you have no idea who I am, do you? B, I killed more than you have in bodies. C, I'll never talk, coppers. Or D, you can't prove anything. Don't get electrocuted, Will. No, it's a USB-C cable. I don't know what neither end of it is plugged into anything. I don't know what it's for though. It was just on the floor here. I moved my foot and I was like, what the hell is that? I don't know. I don't know where it came from. I don't know what it goes to. Because everything else I've got cable management that goes, connects everything up. Don't know where that one came from. Maybe it was on the chair over here and it fell off. I don't know. Question number 17. What chilling statement did Todd make to law enforcement during his interrogation after waiving his rights to an attorney? They got Joe, Tall Chief, Gianna Marie, Lita, Pipapa, and Gemma are all going with B. Alrighty, the correct answer to question number 17 is, in fact, B as in boy. B, I killed more than you have in bodies. Question number 18. Which of these did investigators later find online linked to Kohlhepp? Was it A, YouTube creators account? C, Facebook live streams? C, Amazon product reviews? Or D, Craigslist ads in 9 states? These courts are multiplied. They could. I don't know. Question number 18 of 20. Which of these did investigators later find online linked to Kohlhepp? Joe Tall Chief is going with C, Amazon product reviews. Dirk Giggity is going with C, so is Lita and Gianna Marie. Pippa D. My lap cord had a baby cord. I think my lamp is dying. My lava lamp. You can't see it. It's over here. I'm pointing to my right, but it looks like I'm pointing to my left. I think it's dying. I think after all these years, we probably had that stupid thing for 20 years, 25 years. I think it's finally dying because the wax, the stuff inside of it just kind of sits in one spot. It doesn't, really break down like it used to, move around as much. All right, question number 18 is C as in cat. Yes, he left bizarre Amazon product reviews for knives, shovels, and other items. He left strange reviews for them for Amazon products. Question number 19. What plea deal did Todd Kohlhepp enter at the very first court appearance? Was it A, not guilty, B, insanity, C, guilty, or D, no contest? Question number 19 of 20. What plea did Todd Kohlhepp enter at the very first court appearance? What plea? What did he say? You can get you can get 5-chat lava goo replaced, I bet. Probably just buy another one, Dirk McGiggity. I saw on, was it the YouTube channel, Connextra Extras? I think it's his second channel. I think that's the channel he did the lava lamps on. He made lava lamps from scratch with wine bottles, but and I know you can replace all the contents in them. I don't have the wax, and I certainly don't have I think it's oil that's in the rest of it, in a couple drops of liquid soap. That's what breaks down the barrier in between the wax and the oil, so they can move up and down. But I think he put it on his second channel, Connextra Extras. But anyways, question number 19. The correct answer is C as in cat. On his very first court appearance in front of the court, when they said, "How do you plead?" he said, "Guilty." They're like, "Whoa, hold on. We were expecting a not guilty plea or no contest or something else. If you're going to go with guilty right away, there's things that we have to do beforehand." But he said he was guilty when he was read the charges and they asked him how he pleaded. Question number 20. What are the chances Todd Kohlhepp will someday be released on parole? Is it A, not a chance in hell? B, extremely unlikely? C, when hell freezes over? Or D, zero, none, nada, zip? What are the chances that Todd Kohlhepp will someday be released on parole? Watch Jersey Shore reruns till he dies. Oh, Todd Kohlhepp actually wears glasses now. He wears corrective lenses. I was going to use some of the photos of him with the corrective lenses. He's got those nice prison issue, plastic frames and plastic lenses. Gianna Marie is going with A, B, C, and D. So is purple. Question number 20 of 20. Meep, meep. Good evening, Meep. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Lieutenant RN, A, B, C, and D. I bought a bag of Halloween candy for myself today. The good kind, Hershey's, Reese's, and Twizzlers and Jolly Ranchers gummies for $9.99 at Aldi for 40 pieces. Dude, that is seriously cheap. 40 pieces of candy around here costs about 23 bucks or more. That's a score, Dirk McGiggity. Question number 20. The correct answer is A, B, C, or D. If you answered any of the possible choices on the screen, you are correct for question number 20. All the above. Yes, Rykar, all the above is the correct answer. Now, I was going to play these videos and break them down. I only have 2 of them, but I'm going to play them now on not Dirk McGiddy, on Todd Kohlhepp. I just happened to look up and see Pippinot's nice, Dirk. Anyway, but I was going to play one in the first half and then after the break, but
Todd Kohlhepp confessed to killing 7 people in South Carolina. He pleaded guilty 2 weeks ago to avoid the death penalty and was sentenced to life in prison. His last victim, who survived, is Kayla Brown. Police heard a woman's screams inside a large metal shipping container. They sawed and pried open the bin, rescuing the woman who had been chained inside for about 2 months by the serial killer. Investigators found 3 bodies buried on the rural Spartanburg County property. They had gone to the land on November 3, 2016 to look for Brown and her boyfriend, 32-year-old Charles Carver. The couple had been missing for 2 months, and Brown's cell phone indicated she might have been in the area when she vanished. Kohlhepp also pleaded guilty to raping Brown. Authorities say on the way to the hospital, Brown told them about how Kohlhepp confessed to killing a married couple before she was captured and about killing 4 people at a Spartanburg County motorcycle shop, murders that were unsolved for 13 years. Kohlhepp moved to South Carolina in 2001 after 14 years in prison for a kidnapping in Arizona. Authorities there said the then 15-year-old Kohlhepp forced a 14-year-old neighbor back to his home at gunpoint, tied her up, and raped her.
Something like that. His neighbors might have thought something suspicious was going on, but they say that they had no idea that Kohlhepp didn't look like someone they'd expect to be accused of horrific crimes. 10 News reporter Jennifer Titus went to ask an expert, how can you spot a serial killer?
So take a close look at Todd Kohlhepp. He was a realtor pilot. He doesn't look like a monster, but a local psychology professor says psychopath is a trait you cannot spot just by looking at someone.
If they were that easy to detect based on what they look like, we could find them.
So there's not a description of a serial killer. They come in all...
There's no physical description of a serial killer.
Any things to detect when it comes to the mind of a serial killer?
Things that the average person would pick up on, probably not. They tend to be very manipulative, cold, callous. Psychopaths tend to be psychopaths from the time that they are very young.
And that is true. The Internet Archives is hit or miss on if the quality of the video is worth anything at all. Because the Internet Archives, not only do they take videos from people who submit them, they take them from news stations, news magazines, whoever submits them. And then they archive them. That's all they are, is an archive, treasure trove of videos. But in that case, I mean, I'm sorry that the quality of both of those, videos kind of suck, but that's what we get, right? Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. All right. How did you do on tonight's trivia? Did you get 13 to 16 right? 8 to 12? Okay. Again, it's completely optional to give yourself a letter grade. Some people like to keep score on, how they did. I would have gotten an 18 out of 20 for tonight's trivia. I have read quite extensively about Todd Kohlhepp, and how Todd Kohlhepp came across my actual radar was sometime back. I was I was down this rabbit hole looking at another serial killer who was from the state of Mississippi, and Todd's name came up in comparison to that serial killer. And what the FBI is, and even to this day, is not sure of, is Todd Kohlhepp had a pilot's license, and a family friend of his, someone who lived near him, had an airstrip on their property, and he had an airplane at his use, available for him to use, so he could use it whenever he needed to. And he frequently used it to help sell, farm property, rural farm property. He would take customers up in it and show them the land from above, what was available and what he was selling. A lot of times it was property adjacent to the farm they already had, so he didn't need to take them up in a plane for that. But others, it was like, hey, here's this other piece of property where you can get grazing rights or water rights or whatever, the person needed. But it was a way for him to help sell property. But the FBI is not sure how many trips did he take out of town, because he took an awful lot of them over the years, where he could have committed murders outside of the Spartanburg area. So, and that's where later on, when they started doing the DNA testing a lot more and looking into some of these cold cases, his DNA popped up at other locations. They don't know if he committed them. These murders were committed in multiple different ways. There was no one MO that connected him to any of them. And in fact, a couple of the MOs were completely different from what he was known to do. Also has a high IQ. I didn't actually see what his IQ results are, Joe Tall. Chief, do you know? I know that he was brilliant at smoke and mirrors. And he got a lot of people convinced that he was just a down-to-earth, run-of-the-mill, hard-working real estate agent who loved to go out on his motorcycle to blow off, steam. But then they found a house of horrors that he had next to him. Oh, good God! Could you imagine getting in a plane with him, right? And it was a little Cessna airplane that he had access to. He didn't own it. He had an agreement with the guy that had the airstrip and owned the plane. But he could take off and land, whenever he needed to, and use the plane as long as he took care of the maintenance for it. He had an agreement with them, is what I'm saying. On the plane itself, the guy, he needed to use the plane. He used it. It's 118. One sick puppy. Yeah. Todd Kohlhepp is a narcissist, sexual sadist, not social, sexual sadist, and serial killer, rapist, arsonist, thief, on top of it all. Even after being convicted, he just moved across the country and just, and reinvented himself, is all he did. And then when they asked him for his background information, he lied. And again, the background check got, and the licensing just got stamped. And he was handed his license to sell real estate. Now, think about this. This man could have went into selling, homes, and you could have been all alone, and he could have taken you to show you a home for sale. How many people know exactly where you're at when you're looking at a house for sale? Do you tell your family, I'm going with this agent and I'm going to go look at houses, so in case I disappear, this is the person you should talk to? Who does that? You get a loan in a situation, in a house that you've never been to before. There's a lot of things that can happen to people. Lieutenant RN, I live 1.5 hours from Spartanburg, South Carolina. I remember those killings. Ooh. But Todd was definitely, an evil, evil man. Sneak peek at this week's poll question. The question is, should penalties for taking a child outside of the country without permission be stronger, requiring mandatory prison time? In case you're not aware, a vast majority of parents who abduct their children or leave the country with them, if they're able to get the child back to the country, like the United States, for instance, the vast majority of those parents, if you can't bring them back necessarily to stand trial, unless you have a country that is willing to arrest them there and then extradite them back. But they can then fight the extradition. When they get back, a vast majority, almost 65%, take a plea deal on, for the abduction of a child. Should prison sentence be mandatory? Yes, no, maybe, depends on the case, or no opinion. Let's do more trivia. I don't know about the answer to that one, Joe Tallchip, if his father did. I know his mother, his biological mother, was manic depressive and may have had some other mental health issues on top of her manic depression. Because growing up, she was in and out of his life like there was, the wind. She was there, she was stable, and then she was just gone. But that was a completely different time in society. Just think, we used to lock up women because they were having what we called, and I'm not making this up, they called it women problems. We locked them up in sanitariums because they were delusional, or they were, just basically they were speaking their mind. That's when people used to, turn a blind eye to, the husband coming home and beating his wife and kids. In some aspects, we've gotten better as society, but at the same time, we've taken, several steps backwards. Harmless little self-promotion. Fan store link, the investigation fund, and channel membership. Next week's trivia. Another individual you probably have never heard of. Charles Delmas Colvin is next week's trivia. Where are the bodies, Charles Delmas Colvin? Where are the bodies? Next week's trivia subject matter. Well, you can tell everyone about the new Ed Gein movie on Netflix on October 3rd. Yes, go ahead. There is a new Netflix special coming out about Ed Gein. Can't blame your upbringing. You can to a point, Meep, but after that, it's up to you and every individual on how they allow their past to define who they are in the future and what they do with their lives. I've known people who have had absolutely horrific upbringings, with lots and lots of abuse and alcoholism and drug use constantly from the time that they were a child, a baby, onward. And they didn't turn out to become serial killers. At least I don't know if they're serial killers. But they finally found a way to break the cycle. You're waiting for it? Well, next week's trivia. Ryan Murphy is going Ed Gein's story, and it looks great, guys. I'm going to try to watch it. I can't promise that I will. That's just me. I don't watch a lot of television. Netflix, October 3rd, Monster, Ed Gein. I still haven't seen, you know, the one about the Candyman, Dean Corll, his apprentice. You know, the guy who helped, you know, bring victims to, you know, Dean Corll. I still haven't even watched that one yet. I mean, I have all the you know, the stupid, you know, TV packages. God knows my family uses them. I just never have the time to sit down. Because if I sit down, the first thing that comes to my mind is, all right, do I have this done and this done? And I start doing a mental checklist, you know, like all the things that I have to do. Charles Collis Cole. Dirk, it looks fabulous and crazy. Thomas Cole. Next week's trivia. Charles Delmas Colvin. Very interesting. The Dean Corll was very interesting. It's on my list. I'll get around to it. One of these days, I'll catch up on, you know, on some of these. But Ed Gein is October 3rd, Netflix. You feel bad for Elmer Wayne Henley? Why? Why? Just curious. Looks like a nice fellow. Oh. Meant in a sarcastic, I'm guessing, you know, meat. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap up tonight's trivia. I want to thank everyone for being here, and I hope you had fun. Give this a thumbs up on the way out, if you would, please. Childhood thought, though, that no excuse. But thank you again, everyone, for tuning in tonight and for trivia. I hope you all have a terrific week. Hey, looky there. You made it to the end of yet another video. Why don't you go ahead and take a moment and hit that subscribe button down below. I'll go ahead and give you a couple of seconds to go ahead and do it. In the meantime, for those who did make it to the end of the video, thank you very much again for being here with me. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope to see you all again very soon. In the meantime, you stay safe out there.